Let us be realistic as far as presidential election in Cameroon is concerned. I made a video and I said there are only 3 candidates. Now I am narrowing down to 2 candidates. Let us be realistic as far as 2025 presidential election in Cameroon is concerned. There are only 2 candidates. And I will explain why the others are not candidates that we can consider as a threat to this presidential election. We have candidate Issa Tchiroma and candidate Paul Biya of the CPDM and Issa Tchiroma of the National Salvation Front. Now, there are 4 other candidates who many would have thought, or some will ask me a question, why am I not rating them? And I will tell you with all certainty that from the look of things, some of these other 4 candidates are either working to reduce the opposition vote or are working with the regime. They are not for the people and they don't want change. I will start with Cabral Libi, Joshua Nambagi, Bello Boba Maigari, and I will add UDC Tomaino Ndamjoya, the lone woman. Now, let me first keep Issa Tchiroma and candidate Biya aside. It is but obvious that to win presidential election in Cameroon, as it stands now, you need a huge following and you need a strong political alliance that will galvanize the base. And the good thing is, voters across Cameroon have become educated in such a way that they are no longer voting now according to parties. They are voting according to whom they know can win the election. Before, they have been calling for an alliance because they thought they could work along political parties. They thought SDF, they could work along SDF, will form an alliance with UDC, will form an alliance with UNDP, will form an alliance with FNC party of Tchiroma. Before, voters thought that, and that's why a lot of voters were calling for alliance, coalition. They would say, please come together, come together. Now, when they realized that most of these candidates were greedy, selfish, and were very high-level betrayers and black-leg to change, voters are now forming voting coalition. And they have seen that it is only through voting coalition that they can actually win, not according to party lines. Let me break it down. This message may not sound well for those who are partisan at their respective party. Those who are, I don't know how I can put it, those who are highly active in their political parties, those who don't want to have an open mind. This message may not sink down to you, and I understand, and I respect it. But please don't insult me, because if you insult me, I'll give it back to you at the comment section. Let us start with Joshua Osei. Joshua Osei outrightly refused coalition. He outrightly refused coalition. And the reason he gave is that SDF has been working on the field. SDF has been working for long. And so if anybody want to think that SDF will go and join them, they should know that they are failed because SDF has been working actively on the field. Okay. SDF has been working. Okay. Now, let us be realistic. Joshua Osei knows that SDF does not have the numbers. Deep in him, he knows that SDF does not have the numbers. So, if SDF has been working and you cannot pull the numbers, it means that there is something that needs to be done which you are not doing. Now, if you refuse, in an interview with Memi Mefo, Joshua Osei was clear that he cannot form an alliance with people who have been working in Biya's government or who has worked in Biya's government and who have contributed to the Anglophone crisis, the existence of the Anglophone crisis. But the same SDF party has members of the party that have been appointed by President Paul Biya to key positions in this government, and they are working with SDF has a senator appointed by President Paul Biya. That senator is still working actively in the party, in SDF party. Appointed senator, not elected senator. SDF has members of the Elecam under SDF. Members of Elecam under SDF. Now, it's obvious if Joshua Osei cannot form a coalition, it is that obvious that he's working to break down opposition vote, which indirectly is supporting President Paul Biya. That's very obvious, because you cannot claim that we have been working, you have been working. The fact that you have been working for long on the field doesn't mean that you have the numbers. It's like somebody who has been reading, and some other person who just come once and attend a class and score a good grade. You are angry that because that person, you cannot come together with that person because you have been reading seriously and that person just have the speckle. No. Cabral Libi outrightly refused a coalition. He claimed that he cannot work with people who have worked with the government. Now, if you look at all these people who claim that they cannot work with people who have worked in the government, you ask yourself that, was it not the same Atanganji, Minister Paul Atanganji, that went on Actualité Hebdo, CRTV, and that said he took Atanganji to meet Kuna? Atanganji is working in the government. Cabral Libi, Atanganji says he took Cabral Libi to meet Kuna. You hear very well. On Actualité Hebdo, CRTV, had published that he took him to go and meet Kuna of PCRN. And Kuna took Cabral Libi into his party. So Atanganji is not working in the government. And can you see, do you have the image when Cabral Libi went to Bamenda and the image when Tchiroma went to Bamenda? Which of these two people were highly secure guarded? Which are between Cabral Libi and Issa Tchiroma? Whom among these two persons were heavily guarded? Cabral Libi. Tchiroma was left on his own. He had just little or no security. A little he could afford. He was protected by the people. But Cabral Libi was heavily guarded like a minister of the country. Heavily guarded. So if you say you cannot receive support from people who have worked with the government, and you still use the government support to be protected when you go to Bamenda, and you are working as a legislator, because there are three arms of government, the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. You are working as a legislator and you are being paid as a legislator under the same government. Is it not the same Cabral Libi that went and signed a call on President Biya to declare a state of emergency in the entire northwest and southwest? So he worked with the regime by calling on the regime to declare a state of emergency. Some of you may not like this video. So Cabral Libi, let's say Cabral Libi and Joshua Osi, they have shared one thing in common. Let's say they wanted change. Why can the two of them not come together? Why couldn't the two of them come together? If they are not working against the opposition, against or indirectly in favor of President Biya, why these two couldn't have come together? That's why voters now are not educated. And that's why when Cabral Libi went to Bamenda, it was more of motorcycle riders that were giving t-shirts. More of the grandstand were motorcycle riders. But when Tchiroma went to Bamenda, you could see that the people were ordinary citizens who came to listen to him without t-shirts of National Salvation Front. Then you know who is genuine and who is not genuine. Let us advance. So Tchiroma and Cabral Libi and Joshua Osi out. Let us bring Bello Buba. Bello Buba resignation was doubtful and is still doubtful. When Tchiroma resigned, it took about 3 weeks to 1 month when people said that Bello Buba will soon resign. Romo came out that Bello Buba has resigned. He debunked it that he has not resigned. After 3 weeks again, he debunked it that he has not resigned. Now, Bello Buba was only forced to resign at the Congress when the Congress, his own Congress, asked him, have you resigned from the CPDM? He said yes, he has resigned, but people have not seen his resignation letter, and it took a long time before it could actually come out. Bello Buba knows fully well that he cannot stand to defend his vote. He knows fully well. And that's why when you look at Bello Buba Maigari, members of his party are still active members of government. And he said, which means in English, I've never told any of my people working under the government to resign. See, campaigning, some of his vehicles have CAs. Car administrative. Car administrative are government vehicles matriculated under government. So you see, Cabral Libi, Joshua Nambagi Osi, and the rest are technically out of the race in terms of what we call serious presidential candidates. I am an Anglophone. I would have loved an Anglophone president. In fact, I want an Anglophone president, but the reality stare us in the face. The Bible also says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. If I can see a candidate who can be able to provide, which is my neighbor, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So I should love anybody. I should not stay within my ethnicity lines. Let's keep that aside. Now let's come to Tchiroma. Why did I say that Tchiroma and President Biya are the two only candidates that we have for this presidential election? Tchiroma is somebody that is extreme about end. If you want to do something nice, he will do it very well. If you want to do something bad, he will do it very well. Issa Tchiroma Bakary, most of you are getting to know him now. I will encourage you to go and research on Issa Tchiroma Bakary. Before 1990s, before when he was still very young, Issa Tchiroma Bakary has been a revolutionary leader, someone that has been what we call a nationalist, whose record has always been to make sure that the government in charge should do the right thing. That has been Issa Tchiroma Bakary. Most of you are getting to know Bakary now. Now, Bakary, if you want to do something nice, he will do it. Or you saw what he did in the Ministry of Communication. He will do it well. If you want to do something bad, he will do it well. Very well. He's not somebody that is a chameleon. So today, Issa Tchiroma Bakary, I will trust his judgment on wanting to defend his vote. I will trust that. Because it's somebody that you can actually rely on, not Buba. President Biya, of course, is force. He's using his surrogates. His supporters are campaigning for him. We are on Monday. We have 5 days to go. President Biya has not appeared at the campaign trail. It would have been an opportunity for President Biya to visit all the 10 regions, because he has not visited the 10 regions since after 2018. Since 2018, President Biya has not gone around Cameroon. President Biya only went to one campaign ground in 2018. He has not gone around 9 regions of Cameroon for the past 7 years. 7 years. 7 years has not gone around. 7 years. This election would have been the time. But because he's big, he's Biya, so he has not gone. Thank God the voters now are not forming their voting coalition. Voters have decided. And as it stands now, you have just Tchiroma and Biya. You saw what Tchiroma did in Bamenda. Tchiroma pulled more crowd in Bamenda more than SDF. And SDF, Tchiroma was even blocked. Tchiroma wanted to go to Old Town, wanted to do a convoy in Bamenda. He was blocked. Some of you don't know Tchiroma was blocked in Bamenda. He was forced to do that Israeli where he actually stood and did it. He wanted to go around. Tchiroma went to Limbe, pool crowd. Boya, pool crowd. Douala shut down. Tchiroma went to Bafusam, shut down. Some of you are saying Tchiroma is not campaigning in villages. Who told you that Tchiroma is not campaigning in villages? Tchiroma has party structure. They are campaigning in villages and subdivisions.
You've passed your GCE or baccalaureate, and now it's time to choose a professional university that opens real doors to your future. Let us introduce you to the African Higher Institute of Technology, a career-focused institution that not only awards internationally recognized certificates, but also guarantees direct employment opportunities upon graduation through its solid network of partner companies and institutions worldwide. This school operates in collaboration with the Cameroon Ministry of Higher Education, UBA Bank, St. Francis Xavier Institute, Canada. Located in Yaoundé, Mendong, away from the noisy town, AHIT provides the following for its students: a free brand new laptop immediately after paying a registration fee of 25,000 francs CFA, free high-speed internet access on campus, hands-on professional training, mentorship from local and international experts, offering courses like local government in accounting, finance and administration, computer engineering, artificial intelligence, biomedical sciences, economics and finance, business and management, arts and education, law and public policy, agricultural sciences. Whether you dream of becoming a software developer, civil engineer, healthcare technician, or business strategist, ICT is your direct path to success. Apply now and take the bold step toward a future of innovation, professionalism, and global opportunity.